Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Jimmy, long time no see. Today I'm gonna show you something about what's happening recently, and it really pissed me off. So the story was about 2 weeks ago. I want to upgrade my the suspension system on my Evo 4, and I searched a lot of search online, Trade Me, Facebook, and I found a really cheap and seems pretty good suspension, and it was Tein Monoflex. So you guys probably know how expensive when it was brand new. So a couple years ago, it's probably worth $3,000. So it's Tein Monoflex because of the front suspension is inverted design, and the back has some pretty good design. It has a helper spring, whatever, everything, and spring rate was pretty good. Then I contacted the seller, and he was a car importer, and he sells quite a lot of performance cars, JDMs, and he told me the suspension in very good condition, no knocking, no leaks. And when I go there, when I saw the suspension myself, and it looks pretty new, and I do some damper adjusting, so the damper adjuster also pretty smooth and good to use. Then I bought it, and it cost me $400. So $400, he bought a used, good condition Tein Monoflex. I think it was a pretty good deal until I found something seriously wrong. Then when I took them home, and I can't help to install them, and so I spent about 4 hours to remove the old suspension and put a new one. And at the beginning, it was pretty good. So the car, so when I test drove the car, it seems everything is fine. The damper and the stiffness is better. The car handles, I'm not quite sure, but I didn't find any noticeable issues. Then the next day, I drove the car to alignment shop, and yeah, I spent about $150 to the right height, and also the alignment camber, so it's all done pretty good. But when I drove the car home, I noticed something wrong, something seriously wrong. So I hit a speed bump, and I heard a very loud clunking noise on the front suspension. So I was like, what? And it was kind of frustrated because I spent 1 hour and another hour to do alignment, and it turns out the suspension has some serious issues. And the first thing come to my mind is I probably have a blown shock, and because usually the knocking sound is from the pillow ball bearing or upper mount, or the suspension is leaking. That's caused the piston is hitting the bottom, whatever. So I checked the car when I got home, and the first thing I checked is the pillow ball bearing. So I try to lift the tires, so I can see the pillow ball bearing has a little bit play. So I thought the issue solved. And I also checked all the nuts, bolts on the suspension system, and to make sure that's the only issue. But I was wrong. And the next day I went to the some suspension shop. So I bought two pillow wheel bearing, spent around $200 and about $30 to install. But after that, I thought the problem is really solved, but I spent another 1 hour to install both front suspension. And I was hoping everything's good. Then I try to hit another speed bump, then the issue's still there. So I called a suspension specialist, and they said I possibly had a blown shock. So the shock need to be rebuilt. And it costs about $200, $300 each, and not including the parts. So I thought, oh damn, I was fucked. And I've already spending around $700 on this piece of shit. And I'm definitely not gonna spend another $1,000 to rebuild the suspension. So be aware, guys, sometimes you might find some cheap deals for the JDM used suspension, but you can actually buy it if you can make sure the suspension is good, so no issues. But most likely you will experience some bad experience. So because every every pillow ball bearing, they will go bad. They will go bad no matter what. You can actually spend maybe 1,500 to buy a not bad suspension like a BC Gold or D2. D2, I actually used D2 on my Evo 4 for about 2 years and no issues, pretty good. And if you buy a brand new suspension, they're gonna have at least 12 months warranty, so there's nothing to worry. So hope you guys can get my advice and be aware when you buy used suspension on the market. Very careful. Thank you for watching, and hope you enjoy this video, and hope you can be educated, so never make another mistake. So have a nice day. Bye.